Assalamu alaikum. So we are finally entering into the first few days of Ramadan, alhamdulillah. But this time is so crucial to determine the result of all of the actions that you do this Ramadan, and that is because this is the time when we make our niyyah and we make our intention. And that's why niyyah is that important, and that's why the scholars would clarify their niyyah at the beginning of every book that they wrote, or at the beginning of every project, or the beginning of every event or talk or anything like that. The scholars had this tradition of clarifying and rectifying their niyyah before they did anything for the sake of deen. And we need to do that as well. As soon as we step into the days of Ramadan, we need to check our niyyah, double check if we've got everything in line, what we're doing and why we're doing it. So on that note, I would like to make the intention for the Ramadan journey series that I do it purely for the sake of Allah, and I do it so that there are sisters out there that can feel like they are part of something, that they are not going through this alone, whether you're a revert, whether you're a born Muslim, whether you're practicing or non-practicing, whether you're educated in the deen or not. I will be doing these series for you, sharing tiny little things about Ramadan and about the Ramadan journey that every Muslim should be going through, just so you don't feel like you're going through it alone, and we can go through it together, inshallah. And if there's anybody that benefits even a tiny this much from the Ramadan series, I pray and I make the intention that the ajr goes to my parents and my teachers, most importantly, and then my family and my friends, and all of those who have made a dua for me or have encouraged me in my work or anything. Anybody who has done even an atom's worth of good to me, I pray the ajr goes to everybody as well, inshallah. And going back to the main aim of this series is just so us sisters can get through this together, because sometimes I feel like I feel really spiritually low, and as iman does fluctuate, and I feel really low and I feel really down sometimes, and then I just see a Muslimah who's successful out there, and I think, yes, mashallah, something's happening. Or I'll see my ustadas and I'll see the passion in their hearts and in their words and in their eyes, and it just encourages me, and I think, you know what, I can do it, and it just gives me that boost. So I'm hoping to share that positivity and share that boost with anybody out there who's willing to watch, that this journey towards Allah, you can do it too. So remember to double check your intentions, whatever project it is, whatever action that you are planning to do this Ramadan, know what you're doing it for, because it's definitely not the dunya. Like, we don't need the dunya, and whatever project that we do, whatever wealth that comes from it or popularity, that's not what we need, because we have something better than that. We have the love of Allah, and we know that He loves us because He loves anybody who serves in His way, anybody who serves His religion. What more could you ask for? So niyyah is the first thing that we should be thinking about. The second thing that I want us to walk through the gates of Ramadan contemplating about is self-discipline. Now, as a British young girl, I know that discipline, that word, has a lot of negativity around it. It's always used for a negative word, like you need to discipline these kids. It's kind of a negative term. But in Islam, and as a mu'min, for the believers, discipline is an honorable word. It's an honorable act. Now, you have to remember that every single one of us have our weaknesses. Whether your weakness is TV, whether your weakness is sleeping, whether your weakness is social media, whether your weakness is the opposite gender, whether your weakness is too much food. Each of us have our own weaknesses that really pull us down and further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every single one of us, if we look deep inside ourselves, we know them, we know our weaknesses, and everyone's weaknesses are different according to their personality and who they are as a person. So this Ramadan, what you need to do is recognize your weaknesses first of all. And there may just be one major one, or there may be a few. For people like us, we have a handful of weaknesses to deal with. But first thing you need to do is recognize the weakness, and then after that you need to find the root of it. Where is it coming from? Where is it stemming from? What triggers it? Once you found the root, you need to lock it down for this Ramadan, because all of these weaknesses will be distractions for you. So if, for example, your weakness is TV series, because I know they're really popular these days, what you need to do is shut the TV off and put it away. Pack the entire TV away. That's what you need to do. If your weakness is social media, then turn the internet off for a month. Granted, you won't be able to watch these videos, but on a larger scale, if it's going to help, then turn the internet off. You don't need it. Live without it for a month and watch what it does. For some people, their weakness is the opposite gender. So if you are somebody who regularly talks to the opposite gender on the phone, now whether or not you're getting to know this guy for marriage purposes, if you are the type of person, and you need to be honest with yourself, that when you talk to the opposite gender it pulls you further away from Allah, then you need to cut that distraction off this Ramadan. That's what you need to do. If you know that sometimes you go into conversations and they last half an hour, sometimes even 2 hours, and within those 2 hours you could have done something productive in Ramadan that could have saved you in the Akhirah, then you need to say to the brother, thank you very much, I know we get on, but please don't call me this Ramadan. And inshallah, he'll forget to call you back after Eid. So just be true to yourself, recognize what distracts you, and cut it off, inshallah. The third point that I wanted to discuss is something that we are told on a mass scale. Like, we are constantly always told about this. We always have reminders about this. But that shows how strong this weakness of ours is, that we continue to forget over and over again that we need to keep this shut unless it's doing the dhikr of Allah. This Ramadan, sisters, do not let your tongue feast on empty chatter and foul language and gossip and anything. You don't need that. You're better than that. The great Imam al-Ghazali has said that the real fasting is not the fasting of the stomach, it is the fasting of the heart and the tongue. Point 4, this is something that inshallah my entire Ramadan will be about, is reconnecting with the Quran. This is the month of the Quran, so that should be our main focus. And I don't just mean reciting, like I don't just mean rattalahu and just, go through all of it and recite it and finish it, bish bash bosh, done. I mean read through the Arabic, and then read through the English, and then read through the explanation and the commentary of the Quran. Read through the tafsir of the Quran, and then think about it. Allah has told you over and over again in the Quran, reflect over it. Do not reflect over the signs of Allah, and one of the greatest signs is the Quran, so reflect over that. Set yourself a goal to read 1 page of tafsir a day, and then throughout your day, whilst you're at work, whilst you're cooking, whilst you're taking care of the kids, reflect over what that specific part was talking about. Reflect over what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to tell you. The last thing I will say is that we need to switch our brains on. Like right now we are asleep. We're just walking through life with our brains numb and our hearts dead. We need to come back to life again, and that's what Ramadan is about. It's about reconnecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in order to turn your minds on, you need to switch these off. And for me, I need to switch both of these off. It's serious when you've got 2 phones. And I will be making the intention, I will be making the niyyah to switch my phone off every single day for 4 hours a day, for sure, minimum. That's going to be the set rule for me. Sometimes I won't even look at my phone for 4 to 6 hours, but what happens is that my mind is always thinking, okay, now it's ringing, okay, now it's buzzing, somebody's text, somebody's called, and my mind is always occupied. Once I do turn my phone off, on the rare occasions that I do, it's like my mind has been set free, and all of a sudden I think about things that I never usually think about. Even if I'm not using my phone, I don't think about those things. So I will be turning my phone off minimum 4 hours a day. So within that time I will be doing a lot of reflecting over the Quran and things like that, inshallah. And I advise that for everyone. For those of you who are really addicted to your phone and really dependent on your phone, then it will be harder, but the ajr will be sweeter, inshallah. So those are just a few of the reflections that I have made and the intentions that I have made whilst I walk through the gates of Ramadan. Inshallah, I pray that you guys can, build your goals, set your goals and stick to them, inshallah. I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with the arrival of Ramadan, and it is a huge blessing that He has even allowed us to live long enough for Ramadan to visit again. But now that He has, you need to start making dua, because nothing happens without Allah's assistance. You need to start making dua that He allows you to make the most of this Ramadan. And this is the time that you connect back with Allah, because sometimes Ramadan comes and goes and you look back and you think, well, I didn't try my best. I didn't utilize my time properly. I want this Ramadan to be the Ramadan that we say, no, this was the Ramadan that reignited my heart. This is the Ramadan that woke me up. It was this Ramadan in 2015. So inshallah, let's do it. Let's all do it together. Let me know of your experiences and any questions and any topics that you want to discuss throughout Ramadan. Please do let me know, and I will be doing that inshallah. Like the video and share it to anybody and anyone who is willing to watch, and just share it everywhere so people can benefit inshallah. And subscribe to the channel, because we will be doing this series. I know I haven't been making as many videos as I should have, but like, I blame that on the wedding, I really do. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget that Dust to Diamonds has its own radio show for Ramadan, and it will be online streaming, so anyone in the world can listen in at the right time. It'll be UK time, 6 till 7, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, miss out Thursday, and then Friday. These will be the days that Dust to Diamonds will be on. We'll be doing salawat, we will be discussing topics that you want, we will be doing the shama'il, the characteristics of the beloved, we will be discussing ayahs and the explanation, and it'll be myself, but if anybody else wants to join, you're more than welcome to. So every single day I will leave a link in the description below that you can just click on to straight to Radio Ramzan. There's so much going on with Radio Ramzan. There's so many different speakers, and there's so many different hosts and so many different programs. Don't miss out. I know I'm going to be listening all day throughout the day. Just play the radio in your background when you're cooking, you're cleaning. For me, I use it. I listen to Radio Ramzan when I'm traveling to work and back from work, and it's brilliant. It really keeps you spiritually alive, alhamdulillah. Remember to make dua for me and all of the Dust to Diamonds team, and be my witnesses on the day that I brought the message to you. One last thing, the videos for the Ramadan guide will be here. You can just click the boxes and have a look. I do say that for young teens, but a lot of adults did enjoy the videos last year, so catch the candy.